For many of us, Christmas is a time of year for family and friends and, of course, for reflecting on the many blessings that we have in our life. It's also a time for thinking about people in our community who are perhaps in less fortunate circumstances. And so today, for this Christmas edition of Life in Them, I've come down to Helping Hands, a Leamington-based charity. But before introducing the charity to you, I'd like to introduce you to one of their service users, Emma. Emma's going to talk to us about how Helping Hands is helping her to put her life back on track. Emma, over to you.
Yeah, so I've been coming to Helping Hands for about 20 months now. And at the time when I started coming here at the beginning of last year, I'd found myself homeless due to alcoholism. So I was in the depths of my addiction at that point. Luckily for me, another charity, P3, stepped in and housed me back in Leamington, thankfully. And I started coming to Helping Hands. And it's been life-changing, really. So after about a month of coming here, I managed to get sober. And then about another month or so after that, Helping Hands provided me with counselling, which is again has been life-changing. I come to the women's support group every Wednesday, and we have a smaller talking group on a Thursday, which I attend both of. I can just be myself, and that's the beauty of it. There's no expectations. I can just come and be kind of free, I guess, for that time, and be supported by other women that I perhaps wouldn't have ordinarily had the opportunity to meet. And they're fabulous. Some of the women here, yes, we've all had our trauma, we've all had our struggles, all varying. Not everyone's got an addiction problem, but we've all got a past, and we all come together and unite as strong women. It's really nice.
Emma, thanks so much for sharing those insights with us. So Jacqui, tell us a little bit about Helping Hands then.
So Helping Hands supports people in our community who are experiencing homelessness, housing insecurity, domestic abuse, poverty, isolation, mental health crisis, including those who are sleeping rough, surface surfing, living in temporary accommodation, or at risk of losing their homes altogether. I think this work is more vital than ever, and across the West Midlands, the pressures of the rising cost of living and limited social housing, as well as stretched support services, have led to increasing levels of homelessness and instability. I guess by providing practical help from hot meals and counselling to community support and pathways towards stability, we offer dignity, consistency and hope at a time when the safety net is under immense strain.
Thank you, Jacqui. Well, you mentioned it's not just about practical support, but also about building stability, dignity, consistency and hope. Turning back to you, Emma, I guess that the practical interventions are really important, but without those other things, then people will struggle to build on those foundations for themselves, won't they?
Yeah, completely. And they've given me, with the counselling, which is obviously very practical, but they've given me that support and that community, which, it's not just a case of housing people and then the problem's fixed, or giving someone counselling and then that problem's fixed. That sense of community, that sense of belonging at a time when I was felt completely alone and felt that I didn't belong anywhere. And that stretches not just from the ladies group, but all the staff at Helping Hand. At a time when I didn't think I deserved for anyone to know who I was or my name, I would come up to the office, and even the office staff would know who I was, and they'd recognise the more well I got, the longer that I was sober, that I looked better, and they'd celebrate that win, and they'd know about it. And I'd be amazed that these people, they knew who I was, and not only did they know, they care. That's the amazing thing here. You can feel it's the people that work here, it's a vocation for them. That's how it feels for me.
As Emma said, it's not just a case of, okay, great, you need a house, here you go, here you go, on we move. We have walking football, which is an initiative that our men participate in weekly. I'm sure it gets a little competitive, maybe 1 or 2 steps more than walking, but it's important for their mental well-being and for creating relationships and building friendships. So that's a biggie for us. One of our service users happens to be a Tai Chi dojo. So on a Friday morning, he hosts a class downstairs, giving Tai Chi for anyone who wants to come. We've got service users, volunteers, and staff occasionally pop down for a little moment of meaningfulness. And then our social enterprise groups are super creative, super important for us, something, that we're looking to build on in the new year. But we've got woodworking and mosaic works on the go, and our women, in our women's group, create amazing resin products which they, sell at pop-up stores and at markets, and again, all funds coming back into the charity to feed their new habit of making resin products, which is amazing. And again, it's that sense of self-worth and belonging, which I think is so very important.
And I think that's one of the amazing things about Helping Hands. As I learn more about you, with the example of this resin products project, you're creating situations where people can help each other and also help themselves.
With the women's group in particular, we can all learn from each other. That's, and I think we're all very open to do that, and we want to build each other up. That's, that's the other thing about Helping Hands. It is a helping hand, a hand up. No one. We're not just given, we are donated lots of things generously, but, they don't just want to give us things. It's that whole thing of, teaching someone to fish, isn't it? And that's what they want to do here. Give us the life skills, give us the lessons that we can then take on. And, the resin project, which is amazing, that's not something that we would ordinarily do, but it's a new skill. It's, the girls go out and we sell things, so we're interacting with the public. There's the financial thing, so we're learning, monetary skills. These are all transferable life skills that, we may have had at some point, but perhaps got lost in that period of time for me certainly, when I was in active addiction. So to kind of relearn all of those things, that's invaluable. There was a few of us, so staff, volunteers, and service users that took part in a wolf run. And it was also very humbling for me quite quickly, because I got stuck on an obstacle. I think like obstacle number 2, and I froze. It wasn't even a particularly difficult obstacle, but I just froze on it. I couldn't move, and Jacqui was there behind me, as it turns out, and she got off the obstacle, and she guided me kind of back to a bit where I could kind of refine my footing, and then sort of showed me an easier path to move along this obstacle. And so I could do it myself. And I think, if you could kind of sum up Helping Hands in that moment, it would be something like that. Jacqui was there. She didn't just take me off it and say, "Don't worry, you don't have to do that." She didn't sort of carry me to the end so that she just showed me an easier way. She gave me a hand. She was patient with me. She supported me, and she showed me which way I could move forward.
What a brilliant metaphor. Jackie's just made a love sign over here, but what a brilliant metaphor for Helping Hands, isn't it? It's about not dismissing the obstacle, but helping people to find a better way of overcoming it. Emma, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
Welcome, no problem.
So, Jacqui, that was just brilliant hearing Emma's account of her journey that she's on, and how Helping Hands is giving her just what she needs when she needs it. So I'm hoping that people listening will be inspired by this conversation that they've heard today. If someone would like to support the work of the charity in any way, what are the options for them to do that?
There are so many ways in which you can support. In my role as fundraising, it would be important or pertinent, I guess, for me to suggest financial donations are almost very welcome. We rely very heavily on our volunteers. We have, as we've mentioned, various projects that are very much food focused, so there's a lot of cooking going on in the background. And so volunteers to support across our various services, including breakfast and soup kitchens, our support groups and our charity shops, please inquire about that. On the theme of food, our pantry is generally quite well stocked, but always in need of essential items to make these services run smoothly. So that would be a case of shelf products, cereals, long life milk, teas, coffee, sugars, tins of tomatoes, the list goes on. If you're able to add a little something in your shopping basket every now and again it would be most welcome. Donations of good quality pre-loved clothes to our charity shop are a great way, I think, to give back, but also, to encourage others to spend and shop with a cause, which is quite important in today's climate. And then local businesses looking to participate in sort of social impact days. We have got a variety of opportunities for your teams to come in, roll their sleeves up and really experience firsthand the impact that they're making. So please do reach out and inquire about that. Follow us on the socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And last but not least, it doesn't cost you anything to spread the word. So if today you can tell one person in your family or network about the work that we do, that would be very much appreciated.
So just to get really specific, Jacqui, if someone wants to make a financial donation, something like that, or contact you versus volunteering, that would be via the website?
Absolutely, yes. We have got a link to our donation page on our website, so that would be a digital option for someone to looking to donate. In terms of donating food for our pantry or our soup kitchen, those donations can be made directly to us at 9A Althorpe Street here in Leamington Spa, and the clothing donations directly to our charity shop on Oxford Street in Leamington, please.
So lots of options there, whether it's financial, whether it's food, whether it's volunteering, get your sleeves rolled up, do a bit of cooking, or whether it's donating some clothes. We all get some Christmas gifts that we look at, we go, they're lovely, but they're not maybe quite us. Then the charity shop is the perfect place to do that. Whichever it is, I hope you're moved to do something in support of the amazing work going on here. In the meantime, I'd just like to thank very much Emma and Jacqui for joining us today. Thank you.
My pleasure. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas to you both.